You hit an obstacle, a setback, a closed door, a problem you didn't plan for, and your first instinct is almost always the same: frustration, resistance. This shouldn't be happening. This is blocking me. This is ruining my momentum. Most people stop right there. They argue with reality. They complain, they stall, and eventually, they quit. Marcus Aurelius saw obstacles differently. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, the obstacle isn't blocking your path. The obstacle is the path. In the next few minutes, I'll show you how the Stoics use this idea to turn setbacks into strength, and how you can use it the next time life doesn't cooperate. Marcus Aurelius wasn't writing from comfort. He was emperor during war, plague, political chaos, and constant betrayal. Obstacles weren't an occasional inconvenience. They were the environment. And instead of hoping for a life with fewer problems, Marcus trained himself for a life with better responses. That's what that quote is really saying. Not, pretend it's fine. Not everything happens for a reason. But this. The very thing in your way contains your next move. Because obstacles force adaptation. You had a plan. The plan hits resistance. Now you're forced to adjust. And that adjustment is where growth happens. Without resistance, you repeat the same patterns. You stay comfortable. You stay untested. You stay the same person. The obstacle changes that, not by being pleasant, but by being honest. Epictetus understood the same principle in a harsher way. He was born into slavery, and that experience forced him to build something no one could take from him: inner freedom. He learned that the world can restrict your body, but it cannot force your character. And that's why his philosophy is so sharp. It wasn't theory, it was forged. Here's the line to remember. What blocks you can teach you. What blocks you can shape you. What blocks you can redirect you. But only if you stop treating it like an enemy. Because here's what most people do when they hit an obstacle. They label it bad, and then they make it worse. Think about a modern obstacle. You don't get the promotion. Your brain immediately writes a story. They don't value me. This is unfair. What's the point? So you disengage, you coast, you resent, or you quit impulsively. But what if the obstacle is giving you information? Maybe the room you're trying to win in isn't your room. Maybe staying there keeps you small. Maybe you're being pushed towards something better, something you wouldn't choose while you were comfortable. Or your business plan collapses. The launch underperforms. The partnership falls apart. The idea doesn't land. And you tell yourself, I'm not cut out for this. This proves I'm not good enough. But what if the failure is a teacher? What if it's forcing you to refine the offer, fix the messaging, simplify the model, learn the skill you skipped? Or a relationship ends, and your mind goes straight to, I wasn't enough. I'll never find my person. I should have tried harder. But what if the ending is creating space? What if this pain is teaching you boundaries, standards, self-respect, the ability to be alone without collapsing? Or you get injured. Your body forces you to stop. And you call it a disaster when it might actually be protection, a warning, a correction, a chance to rebuild instead of breaking completely. Here's the pattern. The obstacle shows up, and instead of learning from it, we argue with it. We spend our energy wishing the wall wasn't there, instead of looking for the door. The obstacle is not the end. It's a signal. It's redirecting you. So what do you do practically? The Stoics had a simple framework, 3 steps. When the obstacle appears, you don't deny it, but you also don't kneel in front of it. You work with it. Step 1, perception. Change how you see the obstacle. Your first interpretation is usually emotional, and emotions are fast, but they're not always accurate. Instead of, this is blocking me, try, this is showing me what needs to change. Because obstacles reveal truth. They reveal weak systems, weak habits, weak assumptions, weak plans. They show you what was never stable. That's not punishment, that's clarity. Here's a quick example. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, publicly, from the company he founded. It looked like humiliation and failure. He said later it was one of the best things that ever happened to him, because it forced him to start over, to learn, to build differently, to mature. And years later, when Apple needed him back, he returned with a sharper mind and a different ability. That obstacle shaped the person who could do the next chapter. That's step 1, perception. What if the obstacle is shaping you, not stopping you? Step 2, action. Use the obstacle as fuel. Don't just analyze it. Move, adapt, build. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what does this make possible? What does this force me to learn? What's the next intelligent move? Because the obstacle often gives you only 2 options. Repeat the old approach and keep hitting the wall, or evolve. If you don't get the job, improve your skill set, refine your story, apply higher. If your business flops, fix the offer, simplify the funnel, test again. If the relationship ends, heal correctly. Learn the pattern, raise your standards. If your body breaks down, recover, strengthen what's weak. Come back smarter. The obstacle is training, but only if you train back. Step 3, will. Choose who you are in response. Because obstacles test character, not your comfort, not your image, your character. Will you complain or adapt? Will you spiral or stabilize? Will you blame or build? Marcus wrote something that matters here. Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions. They can disrupt your plan. They can't force your values. They can't force your choices. They can't force who you become. That part is yours, always. So here's your practice this week. When an obstacle hits, and it will, don't label it bad automatically. Ask 3 questions. Perception. What is this showing me? Action. What's the next move I can control? Will. Who do I want to be in response? And then do something most people don't do. Move forward anyway, not blindly, not aggressively, but deliberately, because the obstacle isn't separate from the path. It is the path. It forces you to adapt, to grow, to become who you need to be. And one day you'll look back and realize the obstacle you hated was the thing that built you. What stands in the way becomes the way.